Yeah. We meant to have both lights on? I can't remember.
Oh, no. That needs to go off. There you go.
Artiste. I don't know what I mean. Techie. I don't know.
Tired.
It's bright in here.
Yeah. Shouldn't there only be the moon?
Yeah. Otherwise, it's the moon and the sun together, and that's a sign of that's climate change.
Yeah.
If anything's climate change, that's climate change.
Well, it's just an eclipse, isn't it?
Climate change.
Climate.
More eclipses because the tides dictate the position of the moon, don't they?
B fact for you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hold on.
There you go.
Have I got to do it? Yeah.
Did you know this thing about bees?
During an eclipse, bees stop buzzing.
Whoa. Wait, what's going on?
So they rigged up all these bushes with all these microphones that were like and there was just like
Listen to
tons
the
and tons of
bees.
bees in them. And like they rigged it up during an eclipse, and when the moon crossed and it went dark, they all just went quiet.
They are hiding from the what they call it, the stars, Stellaris.
Yeah.
Hiding from the bee
But
god.
then it kind of sort of makes sense. Like if an insect that doesn't go out at night and it's suddenly nighttime.
They just fall asleep.
Yeah.
oh. Bee. All good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose. Should we start?
Yeah, I guess we should start the scum before the intro. Ugh.
I can't do shit, but I know I want to. Maybe if we talk about it, I'll find shit to do. I got a brain somewhere and you got one too. Da-ba-da-da, something to be fucking do.
Have stock footage for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got that.
Yeah. Oh, we started now. And we were in the middle of shop talk.
That's our management meeting.
Yeah.
Well, marketing meeting.
Yeah.
Like this, that's why the intro is the length it is. So we can have a
Yeah.
quick
Yeah.
do you have ideas what we're going to do.
That's how much we talk about marketing. 40 seconds a week.
Yeah, but yeah, new intro. I think.
Yeah.
Basically, what we were chatting about.
Yeah.
Could be quite cool.
Yeah.
How are you?
Tired. Exhausted,
Always Swedish. Do you get that reference yet?
man. No.
No, you haven't been bothered to watch our beloved podcast. I lovingly edited.
It's
With
an
lots of
extra hour and a half that I haven't had.
Let's put it in the moon or something. It's always going on. I don't know. Yeah. I think I just ingest media too much. I watched TV series on like 3 different sets at the same time.
I don't
I'm following everything.
I don't watch stuff while I'm working. I don't listen to podcasts while I'm working. Like I have like music on in the background that's got no words. Just
Oh yeah, same. Not when I work. Don't want to have something I really need to get done. But my life hasn't got that much meaning. So it's just
well, while you're watching 3 things at once, I'm spending time with my wife.
Yeah.
And yeah,
It'd be weird if I spent time with your wife.
it would.
Instead of watching Game of Thrones, Seinfeld, and the Dave Chappelle show, he's just walking around with her for the time being.
I haven't caught his new special yet. Have you watched it? Is it good?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Still good. Still strong.
Good. There's just been a lot of uproar about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's had a bit of Dave Chappelle's in his most recent new release of specials. I think he's made a few trans jokes, and in this special he says, "I'm sorry, but I keep thinking of trans jokes." He doesn't really apologize for it. He just says well, it's just funny. It's all just silliness. That's all it is.
Someone
so he's not reacting in that
commented that they think he's trying to kind of. I mean, it seems obvious when you think about it, but he's trying to be provocative. He's trying to hurl as much shit as possible. So it's like you don't
depends
really
to what end.
Where do I start?
Well, he's not. I don't really think he's doing it for financial. He's not releasing these specials
No,
for money.
he's
just releasing it for fun. And
yeah,
a lot of humor can be provocative. So
yeah,
I guess. But yeah, it's still good. Still and still funny and still done in the right ways.
Yeah.
Still People just want something to complain about.
Yeah.
Just always looking for somebody to blame. I mean, like I've watched a lot of stuff on white privilege again, like I think in the last week,
Yeah.
and it always seems like it's just people wanting to have someone to blame and be like, it's your fault.
Yeah.
You go like, well, it's the individual's fault, right? No, it's white people.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but oh yeah, I remember what brought it up now, but it's like, that'll come up later.
Yeah.
But yeah, just ideas
Like,
of
well, isn't that the same? I
With
know it's an
anything.
easy thing, but isn't that's the same way Hitler felt about the Jews? It's like, as in, like,
Alright.
you can't just say like, oh, it's all white people. Oh, it's all the Jews. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, it's
just
if
a
you
false
stop judging people as individuals, then
yeah. It's just a false equivocation.
yeah,
They
all
say
roads lead to genocide.
say I think there's a number that's like the top 1% of companies are all ran by white people or something like that, right? That's
So the
like
top
disproportionately.
1% of companies were started by white people.
But then you
So,
just
like,
go, but that
goes-
doesn't mean that all white people own the top 1% of all companies.
Yeah.
It's like that's a very small minutiae of people that happen to
But,
be
like,
white, and
then-
maybe there's a whole thing. But it's my whole thing on politics that I completely zoned out of politics completely now. Just as soon as I see a political post, I'm already like, I just don't care. Like it's
Yeah.
so full of holes that it's just like this is just a game. This is a board game you're playing,
Yeah.
and you're really into it.
Yeah.
Great for you. It obviously brings you joy and hate. Always good to have those fuels. But it's
Yeah.
like I have nothing to say because I believe the very foundation of it is completely pointless. So
Yeah.
there's no point talking to me. The same reason I can't remember what I told you. I'm not allowed to go. Well, I'm not allowing myself to go on ghost hunts anymore. No, I haven't been on any yet. But there was a situation recently where I was invited to go to a ghost hunt.
Okay.
And I was just like, well, you don't want me there. I'll just laugh and ruin the evening for everybody else who's trying to gain some substance to their grief. Where
Yeah.
they can be like, oh, at least I'm grieving for somebody who's living on as a ghost or so whatever it is that they're doing. I'm just like, I would just find it hilarious all the way through, and it would just change the temperature of the room.
Yeah.
And I don't want to ruin your night. I'll go if it's on my own, but I don't want to ruin some like people who've gone out for a good time.
Yeah.
Like, you know that going to the cinema with me can be a different experience to going to the cinema with somebody else.
It is. Yeah.
And yeah, to that point, Toy Story 4 is good. I thought it was going to be bad, but Toy Story 4 was good.
I didn't realise it was out.
Yeah, I didn't realize either, and that's why I went into it. I think it's just I'm not part of that algorithm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never saw any promotional material, so I was like, oh, they snuck this one in.
Yeah.
So it's going to be terrible. Otherwise, they would publicise it. But apparently, it's been out since the start of school holidays. It's
Oh.
just been out forever. But it was good. It was actually pretty good. And I laughed inappropriately throughout. And it was weird. The people and kids looking at me just like, why is this guy laughing? It's like, well, this small child just crushed that other small child's dreams. It's hilarious. Also went and saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
How is it?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's not amazing. People have like loved it,
Yeah.
or people have like had arguments about it, and you go like, oh, it was an interesting time, but it's not like there's been like amazing parts that I remember. Like, oh, that was so good. It was just like, oh, this is just a film.
Yeah.
And I think it's a long film. I think it's like 2.5 hours, 3 hours. But you don't feel it. And there's some really good acting in it. But there's no like scene that's like, that was incredible, that was beautiful, that was Tarantino. There's no Bruce Willis picking up a chainsaw. There's no Christoph Waltz speaking in English in the house. There's none of. I didn't have any of those. And the way that it was done was like it was just a weird thing, a weird film. Where a lot of people got angry because it doesn't end how they want it to end.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it's Tarantino, he's not gonna hold himself. He's famous for doing things in a weird, different way. So, what do you expect?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. It was fun to watch.
I haven't even watched his last one yet.
The one before Once a Time in Hollywood, The Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
You haven't seen The Hateful Eight?
No.
Fuck you, man.
I know. I
The Hateful Eight is amazing.
yeah.
The Hateful Eight is incredible. So you have to watch that. Was it the same like I showed you Django? We watched Django.
We watched Django.
Yeah, Django was great.
Didn't Django come out while we were at uni?
I don't think. No, it didn't,
Did it
because your non-wife was there. Your wife that wasn't your wife at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, was there. I think I was up visiting.
Oh,
We were
right.
like looking for things to watch.
Oh, we went out. And...
You might have still been at uni, obviously.
Okay, yeah,
So there
because
might
I
have
was
been a-
there for like a decade.
Yeah. Oh, you were.
Yeah.
But yeah. Before you watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, you have to watch The Hateful Eight.
Okay.
The Hateful Eight is amazing.
Yeah.
The Hateful Eight that's Quentin Tarantino, so that's really good.
Okay.
But yeah, going to cinema with me is different because I find stuff funny and I love laughing so much. One of my problems on this podcast, when I should have a straight face, is I'm just laughing, giggling, high pitched, and it's like, dude, you got to maintain this. And in the cinema, I'm just even worse, just more raucous.
Yeah.
So it's just big out there.
I think you said to me in the past that like you think that would be a problem as a stand-up.
Yeah, well, and in stuff like this,
Yeah.
like it's good that I find the stuff I'm talking about funny. But yeah, if you're on stage telling jokes and I'm enjoying it and I find it funny, you can't laugh too much at yourself. But I do.
Yeah.
That's my main problem with relationships. Is I find myself funny in that relationship as it starts off, and after a while, I just realise, hang on, this is my show. Look, I don't need you. It doesn't really get past that. So I have to have these mental checks when I'm dating someone to be like, are you actually funny?
Yeah.
Is this genuine, or am I just laughing at myself being ridiculous? And when I say being ridiculous, like saying, fuck you, I'm not going on your ghost hunt
Yeah.
because I'm too funny. But yeah, if I went to a ghost hunt, I would just laugh too much. And it's just, it changes things. It's good in a cinema because I feel like you're meant to laugh in a cinema. And if you're meant to be scared in a cinema and someone's laughing, that would make me feel better.
Yeah, maybe, but I also don't have a problem with it, but I don't think you're meant to laugh at like Schindler's List or something.
Sure, but I do, and I think it adds to it. Adds the experience.
This is a heavy film, man. I'm just trying to lighten the mood.
Well, there's the It
Yeah.
3 or something is
Okay.
coming out, and I saw a trailer for that, and it was like things like the origins of the clown. It's about a scary clown, which is hilarious anyway, because I don't have to explain that, right?
Yeah.
The dry guy dressed as a clown scares everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds great. I'm in.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's this point where I think he's famous for holding a balloon. He's got an image of a balloon, and there's just all these balloons coming after somebody. It's like, oh no, not the balloons. My one weakness. It's like, no, just kill everybody and leave.
Yeah.
You know, what are you meant to do with it? Or just watch them all die and then talk about it on a podcast.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. It's like I was picturing a clown on a podcast. I'm not sure this translates.
I've worn makeup once, and
Yeah.
it was too much, and it was a mistake.
What, when you went blackface?
No. I went Stalin face because I wanted to go full communist and spread the communist message.
Oh, right.
No. sounded serious.
Yeah.
I put foundation on my face once, and I
Okay.
realised it was like, do you remember?
Oh, for the podcast?
Yeah, on the podcast.
Yeah,
I've worn
yeah.
makeup on the podcast
Right,
before.
okay.
And I was like, oh, this is just, now I'm just ghostly white,
Yeah, it looked
which is kind of like a clown.
strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I get for trying to be normal. I was listening to the radio on the way here, and just people.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, is there? And admittedly, like we're recording this quite late, and it was not. So it's not rush hour radio. So it was just like, who the hell's listening to the radio at like 8 p.m? And it was just like people like remixes of old songs that are just, you feel like are terrible, but they've just kind of put that, they've made it dubstep. And you're like, but it hasn't improved it, and I like dubstep. So what is this?
Yeah.
And then it's, this is now the hit of the summer, and it was something about Country Road, and about like a poppy, rappy. I want to take
about
that horse
horse.
on a country
Yeah,
road.
yeah, yeah.
Horse. It says horse lots. That's all I knew. And I was
So
like,
apparently that video, that song got famous because a bunch of people like videoed themselves playing Red Dead Redemption on their horses, like just playing that song in the background.
fair
And
enough.
enough people saw the videos that like it suddenly became a hit
Yeah.
because it was nothing before.
But every song they played, and including that song, I can't dance to that.
No.
But I think there's probably a whole genre of music, you know, that people don't want to dance to, but still get really passionate about. And I can't understand the passionate love for something that you don't want to dance with when it comes to music. I really enjoy lots of different music
Yeah.
for chilling out and for doing whatever. But like, I'd expect to dance to radio music. But times have changed.
Yeah, I suppose
Dance is
so.
dead. They killed the dance. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good. Good
Yeah.
times. Good.
I'm having a horrible time with music at the minute. Like I was asked to do like it's not an open mic thing, but it's like it's a performance thing of sorts. But it's
poets.
like it is music, but it's like we choose who plays, and it's run by someone I know.
Right.
And I'd mentioned that like, well, I'm kind of interested in doing things.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, why don't you come and do this at the end
Why
of the
don't you
month?
come and do things?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And my immediate response was like, no. But, all right, maybe. But then
Yeah.
I was talking to them because they play music on like a regular basis. Like they do gigs and they make an all right living out of it. I was like, well, what? How? Because you play songs that you are not necessarily interested in, like but stuff that other people will know when you kind of make it your own.
Yeah.
Like, how do you come across song? How do you get in tune with what people actually want to hear? Because that's
Right.
the side of like covering songs that I've never really tried before. When I think if you're trying to get gigs and make a go of it, it's kind of something you need to get a grasp of.
Right. So, like, what's the latest acoustic set that was played on Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
You know,
And-
you do a cover of that. And
Yeah,
it's popular
and-
because people know it and search
Yeah,
for it.
yeah, and they were like, "Well, it's really hard, but you just kind of check like what's trending on YouTube."
Oh, yeah, it's like
And-
those Google Analytics and
Yeah,
stuff.
and-
What are people searching?
Yeah. Well, there's like a trending thing on YouTube, trending now, and
Yeah.
there's a music section that just like spend ages going through that, and there's Spotify has the same kind of thing, and I started doing it. I was just like, I'm having a horrible time. Like all of this is crap. All
Yeah.
of it. I hate all of it. I've never felt so
Yeah.
fucking old.
In terms of what songs are being played.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I can't. None of this inspires me.
Yeah.
Like it's so fucking hard.
Yeah, but there's lots of people, and that's why I think a lot of it feels very plasticky, is because people will go through that anyway, and you'd be like, why are you playing this bad song badly?
Yeah.
But it's because you don't care about it, and you're just trying to you're just asking in a forum to be on a podcast panel show, you know, just doing whatever you can to try and promote yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's got to try and the people. I think it's like you just if you. It's not very evident with the podcast, but if you continuously do something, eventually you'll have a catalogue of stuff to refer back to,
Yeah.
and then it will just build and slowly. But it's like I think like Twitter followers. Like when we first started doing videos, like I think it was like 27 episodes ago or something.
Yeah.
Like started doing social media and trying to get followers and trying to set it up, and now they just left it, and just over time it just grows a little bit. Admittedly, social media growth is a weird thing anyway,
Yeah.
but just over time things will grow. You just have to kind of give it time.
Yeah.
So yeah, just fuck trying to play songs you don't want to play.
Yeah.
Just be like, you can play that if you want, but I'm going to play this, and it's going to be such a good show that blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just kind of gotta hope for the best.
Yeah, but I've had in terms of productivity, this week is release of Minute Month, and I struggled a lot, not as much as you did, because you were very busy.
Yeah.
I got. We'll release them a little bit later, but just while talking about productivity, it was just like, there was still a moment of like, oh, I'm just going to leave it to the absolute last minute to do this. And even though I did little bits here and there, and I think it's just organization.
Yeah.
It just starts to slip away. I mean, there's so much we have to do for Stoke-on-Trent on October 13th or something. And you go like, we need to be properly organized about this, and just be like, right, okay, sort it out, and plan it out, and then stick to it, rather than just being like, okay, I'll just leave it to the last minute and fucking do it.
Yeah.
That's why, started doing social media Sundays.
Yeah.
Fun times. Sundays, I sit down and do all the social media for the podcast.
Yeah.
And talk to people who aren't there. Just I was like, I'll answer any questions. I'll chat to anybody. Just nothing. It's like, well, this is kind of good because it means I have to do less of it. But yeah, I sort out all the social media stuff. And because I was like, right, just one day a week, and then hopefully like one morning a week, like a Sunday morning, to be like, right, just sort everything out. And now it's really confusing when I see a post from myself telling me about something I've told it to tell me.
Yeah.
You're just like,
I had the same thing. So I've been doing running like 4 social media accounts for my business side of things for the last couple of weeks and doing all the scheduling and all of that stuff. And,
LinkedIn. Sorry,
Yeah.
I had to remember what the 4 were because we only used 3. I think we should get on LinkedIn.
I don't know what we do on LinkedIn.
Just tell everyone to go fuck
Like,
themselves.
I don't even know what I'm doing on LinkedIn.
I still don't understand it. I don't. It's a world that I've never wanted to be a part of.
It's like it's a social media website made up of people's CVs.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
I think it was like to see people's references and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
It's to help
But,
network
like-
and meet other professionals. All right.
I remember I interviewed at a place in London somewhere, central London somewhere, and it was your typical starter up computery thing. I can't even remember what it was for. Like it was for
it made an
something silly,
impression.
stupid like that. Yeah, and it had that same feel of like, you know, whiteboards with targets on it. I used to work in a car sales job as well as all that kind of little thing. People
Yeah.
get stuck in that bubble. And you go like, it's probably very good, but especially the corporate side, I've never wanted to be. I've only ever seen negative aspects of that through films and people. Everyone that I've known has been a bit of a tosser, who's been like really into it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just grow up and it's like all they can talk about is that, and you go like, I understand that passion about your work is very important, very good, but there's more to you, right? There's more to you than just this. No. Oh, okay. Well, I don't think we're gonna have much in common then if everything that you have that's about your personality is tied in with one job
Yeah.
and not like anything else. Just communicability. Communicability.
Yeah,
Just not that
I saw an advertisement that someone was looking for someone to do like in-house videography for them, like as a full-time job, and like one of the specifications was that you put your professional life as your highest priority.
Yeah.
And I was just like, no,
Yeah,
like,
I had loads of those.
not at all.
Yeah, you have to tell them that everything you want out of life is expensive. I think
Yeah.
these were like sales jobs that you have to go in and say you want a Lamborghini and you want this big house so that they know that you're money motivated and so that they'll enjoy it. And then there was that one job that I went to and I just didn't wear a tie and everyone freaked the fuck out. They're like, I had what they call it, a recruiter or whatever.
Yeah.
And he rang me up afterwards and said, yeah, I just spoke, Nick, you didn't wear a tie? Where's your tie? I said, oh, it was hot. I just didn't want to wear a tie. Now, Nick, you have to wear a tie if you want to take the job seriously. If you want people to take you seriously, you've got to wear a tie. And I was like, go fuck yourself. No. And it's
Yeah.
a small thing because like clothes don't quite fit me anyway. I've realized I was thinking about starting to wear ties as like a new leaf. Look at Nick, he's wearing a tie.
Yeah,
And I was like, well, I have to get the problem is the collars are just too small
yeah,
because I'm just a weird shape. So if I had a big collar, then I could probably wear a tie and it'd be fine.
hey, man.
But
I got 2 jobs.
Not
and-
hiring someone because they don't have a tie.
yeah,
It's
so
too funny.
stupid. I got 2 jobs. In both of them, I wear t-shirts.
Yeah,
Like,
but it
this is fine.
just seems weird. It just seems. I don't understand how anyone can make that judgment. Like if someone walks in and they can make your company £20 billion, but they haven't got a tie on,
Yeah,
you gonna reject them? No.
yeah,
If you're just looking to fulfill roles, well, if they don't, maybe it's like if they don't wear a tie, well, that means they're a hippie or they're all these kind of weird things. And
Yeah.
You're like, okay, but I just don't understand. I mean, I've got, I don't understand the need to be that fashionable.
no,
And when I mean fashionable, I don't mean like looking good. I mean like you have to adhere to a specific fashion in order to be taken seriously. And I'd just rather tell them, yeah, I don't like. It's not that I rebel against authority. I just find it stupid. So it's just like whatever, mate. Whatever
Yeah.
you say, okay.
yeah. I
Have
think
fun.
that's the kind of attitude that would prefer to work for themselves. I think
maybe.
I just think people are that's just how people are. Like,
Well, we've said before, I think if like the podcast is an example, because this is ours, right? But like if we were to work for someone else to do the same thing, the
Yeah.
moment they would hand us a note that would be like, oh, well, you need to do this. It'd be like, well, now it's stupid. So
Yeah.
now go fuck yourself.
yeah,
Bye.
yeah, yeah,
It's our own stupidity, but it's how we have to accept it.
yeah.
This do not work well with others.
But in every job interview, I've been like, "Oh yeah, I work well alone. I'm a team player."
Yeah.
Like,
So
oh, yeah.
me and
These
Dean-
aren't 2 contradicting ideas.
Yeah, I'll just tell you what I know you want to hear because you haven't got that big like awareness
Yeah.
about how easy
Yeah.
you are to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially I mean, and working in places where people have worked there for years, and they say they don't like it, but you know they do.
Yeah.
So many restaurants I've worked at where there's like waiters who've been there for years and years, complaining about it, but they obviously like it, and they obviously don't want to leave. They'll
Yeah.
put it that way, and they just kind of put up with everything. You'd be like, well, where are you? Find yourself, and then figure something out.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I was guilty of the same stuff, just like kind of bouncing around and doing odd jobs here and there. But yeah, there's that weird feeling where you see somebody and you know that they're not happy in their job. So you can do anything you want. Just go out and do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can just mug people. We can promote that.
Do what makes you happy.
Sponsored by mugging. Oh yeah, we need to sort out some sponsors.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, even if they're just fun sponsors.
All right.
We've had Food Dog and
they
some
never
kind
came back
of
to us.
lawyery thing. Yeah, I can't remember a lot of them.
It was the Slapdash lawyers. We only had one of those.
Slapdash. Yeah.
Food Dog. I think Food Dog returned once. Maybe.
Yeah, I think so. I think for Saddam Hussein.
Yeah.
I think something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to try and figure that out.
Yeah.
Because I think it's important for us to get sponsors,
Yeah.
even if it's just us.
Yeah. Well.
It would just be more fun.
Yeah.
We've
yeah.
always found adverts funny, so why not make some funny adverts? Anyway,
Anyway.
in the news this week, not much from me, but we've also got a lot of audience participation. Not perspiration, participation
Oh.
to get through as well, because we've just been so busy that they've kind of started to pile up. But from me, 6 people aged 62 to 85 have been arrested after police officers went into the woods to watch them having sex. So, I don't know why the police weren't arresting themselves for watching other people have
Voyeurism.
sex in the woods,
Yeah.
but that's kind of it. The group was arrested in a conservation area. That's where you want to keep everything quiet and conservation, right?
Yeah.
Don't want it to be spoiled.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck
yeah.
on it.
Well,
Why
the
not?
animals are doing it.
Which is around 87 acres in size. 87 acres of fucking. Police have said that they found posts online advertising the Grace Richardson Environmental Preserve as somewhere to meet and have sex, according to someone.
Just like a Facebook ad.
Yeah, just
Come
a
fuck in this field.
picture on a wall.
Yeah.
People came.
Yeah.
Officers began a spying operation to snare anyone taking part in lewd activities. A spying operation on the sex club in the field.
There they are.
They allegedly spotted the group of 5 men and 1 woman committing a number of breaches of law before moving in.
5 men and 1 woman.
Yeah. Well, whatever. There's got a lot of ground to cover. The 6 now face charges, including public indecency. Sure.
Yeah.
Having sex. Breaching the peace.
No.
Breaching, at least. But I'm not sure. Don't call her a peace. I mean, come on. Yeah. Breaching the peace. I guess they're having sex loudly in this 87-acre park.
Yeah.
They're not disturbing that many people, surely.
That's a cool line for a naturist, though. Like, hey, do you want to go over here and breach the peace?
They were released after promising to appear in court. Well, we promise.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
Go
but
ahead.
are there any like tickets or fines or anything to that effect?
I don't think so.
Just promise you'll come back.
Well, they're all between the ages of 62 and 85. Like, you just go just have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be different if it was like people at teens and 20s,
Yeah.
but it's still not like that bad.
Yeah.
Just be like people fuck in the woods. It's
Yeah.
fine. I've never
Yeah.
done it. Fear of splinters, but it's fine. And grey squirrels. I heard once they bite, they don't let go, and that's always been. I think that turned me off. It's like,
Yeah, it's the same as pit bulls, though.
yeah. I had the same thing with like people wanting to have sex in cars. I think it's just because they don't fit in most cars.
Always seemed just
But I've
very
always just been like,
uncomfortable
why
to
don't we
me.
just go to a hotel?
Yeah.
Why do you have to have sex in a car? I'm 6'2". This doesn't work. I'm very sorry, but we're going to have to go somewhere more comfortable. Never understood. The 6 now face charge. 1 member of the group has previously been found walking naked in public. We found him. There he is. It's bordered on one side by a road called Congress Street. Why are they telling us where it is? 'Cause to get more traffic.
Yeah.
A lot of ground to cover.
Just trying to triangulate it. So maybe the guy writing the article is
It's a
part
guerrilla
of it.
advert.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Sex in a Field.
Yeah. And all they make you do is promise you'll come back to the court.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah. They won't mind.
Yeah.
Especially if people are 62 and above. You'd be like, they should stop having sex in the woods.
Yeah.
There's retirement homes where lots of fucking must happen.
Yeah, you'd imagine so.
Do that.
Yeah.
It's just, I guess there's a whole hippy dippy
Retirement home is like a university dorm, but for like
The dying.
60-year-olds. Yeah. You have fun. You'll be dead soon.
Yeah, I always thought that I'd quite enjoy retirement homes, but as I've become more and more antisocial, I've been like, I probably just hate everyone who's there.
No, you wouldn't.
Enjoy it or hate it?
You'd hate it.
Right.
Like the idea of someone coming around every day and telling you what time you're allowed to eat soup. Like,
yeah, it's fair enough. I still have my bed making machete though. So still be like, oh, what time? It's fine.
yeah,
It's fine.
concealed within a walking stick.
Yeah, well, they can give me a life sentence. What, like 2 years?
Yeah.
I can do 2 years.
Yeah. Probably more fun
Too
in
old to
prison.
murder again. Yeah,
More interesting people.
yeah. You get to it's like taking a gap year, isn't it? You're too old to go travelling. It's like, go to prison.
Just go to prison.
Experience it. Get to know the younger generation. In other news, NASA is reported to be investigating a claim that an astronaut accessed the bank account of her estranged spouse from the International Space Station in what may be the first allegation of a crime committed in space.
So
It's a space crime.
This is why we need the Space Force. Donald Trump was right. So, is it the person in space that's accessed the bank account?
Yes.
That's kind of impressive.
Yeah, they must just have Wi-Fi, kind of.
Yeah, but it's fucking brave, though. It's like, yeah, you can't get me up here, but you know
Well-
where I am.
Well, they're pleading innocence because it's her ex-partner,
Right.
And I think she's making the claim. I don't know too much of the details of it, but she's saying that, well, I just wanted to make sure that there were funds in it for my family.
Okay.
Like they've got kids together,
Right.
and she wanted to make sure that he was looking after them. I guess.
Right.
So it wasn't malicious. It was just like, I just want to.
Oh, so
check.
it's
Could
just
have been an old
accessing.
joint bank account. Yeah,
Right,
just looking
okay.
at it.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
it was an old joint account that they
Yeah.
changed, and she still had the codes to it.
Well, yeah, so it's not like larceny or anything. Like, it's
Yeah,
just-
but it is a crime in space. So going on, Anne McLean, brilliant name for a space criminal, acknowledges accessing the account from the ISS but denies any wrongdoing. Her estranged spouse reportedly filed a complaint. Miss McLean has since returned to Earth. Oh. Probably the best line, I think, in any story. Oh, they
Yeah.
returned to Earth, did they? Okay,
Yeah.
good. Just to deal with this. It's fine. So you might ask yourself, how does law work in space? Well, there's 5 national or international space agencies involved in the ISS, which I thought was just like a space station, the International Space Station.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Maybe it is. From the US, Canada, Japan, Russia, and several European countries. There are 5 national, and I think some of Europe is a nation, is what they're saying from here. And the legal framework sets out the national law that applies to any people and possessions in space. So if you're Canadian and you're on the space station, you have to adhere to Canadian law. Does
Does that mean the Americans can smoke weed in there? But no one else can.
And just not share it with anybody.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. It's against the law.
Space law also... Space law? What are you doing your degree in, Dave? Space law? All right, mate. Have a good one. Space law also sets out provisions for extradition back to Earth. So if you commit a crime, then you'll be extradited
sent back.
from space.
Just,
They'll build a rocket for you.
yeah.
Go up and get you, bring you back.
Just jump and aim well.
Yeah, you've got a court date, bastard. As space tourism becomes a reality, so might the need to prosecute space crime. But for now, the legal framework remains untested. They weren't aware of any crimes committed on the space station. So it's the first space criminal. Anne McLean.
Yeah. That's good. Anne's close to John.
It is. And he kind of makes one. It still works just as well as John.
Yeah.
So that's all good. On to audience participation. There's been a few of these it's hot, and it's been hot for a while.
Today's all right.
Yeah, yesterday was pretty intense.
Yesterday's
It's died down a little bit since the massive heat wave
Monday
hate
sucked
crimes
more.
episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still muggy. And there was a whole thing about having sex with ice lollies
What's
that was going around. Yeah.
Oh, don't insert them.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So like there was like people who like for a dare would shove a rocket lolly up their ass,
Yeah.
and there was doctors saying, people die. Like don't do it.
Yeah.
Like it's incredibly painful.
Wouldn't catch
'Cause
Anne
it's-
McClane with a rocket up her ass.
Yeah, it's ice, so
Yeah.
don't do it. And I saw that whole thing, and there were videos being played of people doing it for a dare and then being in extreme pain. And you'd be like, I don't understand why you think this would cool you down. I get that it's ice, but just sit in some ice.
Yeah.
You'd cool down more if you just put it on your forehead.
Yeah.
Or if you ate it. Just eat it, mate. It'll cool you down at least as much as shoving up your ass.
Yeah.
But apparently, it's also become more popular with women. And doctors are having to tell women to publicize stuff to say stop inserting lollipops into yourself. It's not good.
Yeah.
And for obvious reasons, like I love how the first example they go to is always pH level. That's how everything comes down to when it comes to women. I think
Yeah.
it's because when you're trying to get pregnant, you have to monitor that, and you get like a certain amount of pH level is the best for breeding. But I don't think they're trying to make an ice lolly baby.
No.
They'll affect it, sure, but if you're doing that, then don't have a baby. It's fair enough.
Yeah.
Irritation and dermatitis. I thought dermatitis was just skin.
Skin issues.
Skin issues, yeah, I guess. Yeah,
Dermatologist is someone who
Yeah.
deals with skin
and
issues.
derma
So derma
is
would be
skin.
epidermis. That's hair. That's hair, isn't it?
Yeah. What's your epiglottis?
I don't know.
I think that's something you need back.
Is that the little dangly thing?
Maybe.
All right.
I think it was from The Simpsons. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, your epidermis is showing.
Yeah.
Smash.
That means you have. And he fell off the
Screw you.
treehouse.
There are many things that should never go near a vagina, and ice lollies are up there, said Welsh. I'm assuming that's
Take them
someone.
out.
The ice can stick to the skin and cause real trauma and damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like ice
Again,
does.
Yeah. It's just don't do that.
Yeah.
Eat it. Just eat it. Everything that you want will happen if you eat it.
Yeah.
If that's, they'll have the same effect. It'll just be less traumatic.
Yeah. I think
you
this
do
is up there on a list of things that you don't want to have to teach your daughter.
But you should. Like, maybe
No,
there'll
but you
be
don't want to
things-
have to. You don't want to have to teach them by example. See, like this
Don't
is
do
why
this.
you shouldn't.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was feeling a bit heated, so
Yeah.
decided to have sex with a feast.
Yeah.
Fucking
I used to love a
jagged
feast.
nuts, mint.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mint's never a good thing. It is a nice lollies.
Yeah.
But in a person, if someone smelt of mint, I wouldn't trust them.
No, it's not considered a scent.
It's a bit
that-
minty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
don't know. In other news, we're on to audience participation now, and there's a lot of this.
Science.
Science.
Is it actually science this time?
Yeah. There's lots of things fall under the bracket of science.
Yeah.
Specific question that I've done some research on. Any thoughts on the campaign against sex robots?
No.
You have no thoughts?
Oh, right. Do I have?
Yeah. People are saying that sex robots are objectifying women. We've covered it briefly. But yeah, there's a whole campaign of it. The only thing that I will say about
They're
this...
just feeling threatened. Fuck them.
Well, again, this is what led to people looking for something to blame.
Yeah.
It's like these robots, like yeah, but they're going to make women, they're going to increase the beauty standards of women. Are they?
No, they're not.
Are you sure?
No.
Why do you think this? Well, think about it. I have. What do you think's going to happen?
How many people who are fucking a robot wouldn't rather be fucking a person?
And then even if that was the case, are you saying that women are going to be desperate? I guess they're saying that the apocalyptic feeling of women wanting to procreate and being unable to because men are fucking plugs.
No.
I don't think that's ever going to happen.
No, this is bollocks, and it's absolute horseshit. Like it's weird how like the shoe's on the other foot now after they've been saying for years like, oh, we don't need men anymore after all the fucking sperm donations. We've got all of the stuff that we need to carry on the race. It's like, fine, we'll go fuck a machine then.
And then you go, well, then that's a good thing, right? I mean, if you are able to select, I mean, I think to become a sperm donor, you have to pass and test.
Would you rather be harassed by a guy that you don't want to fuck, or would you rather him be at home fucking his washing machine?
But just, I think people, the problem is people don't really understand a lot. They're not very open and they're not very experienced with a lot of life in general, but sex is always the weird one that people get freaked out by. And you go, I think people just don't understand the difference between sex and making love and sex and like procreating and starting a family. There's a big difference there.
Yeah.
And you go, all right, well, to put it this way, if your parents' marriage could be saved by a sex robot, would you want them to do that?
Yeah.
Or would you rather them have a potentially bad divorce, a potentially bad, lonely solo life?
Yeah.
You go, well, maybe a sex robot would solve this. Okay, bring in the sex robot. And they bring in. But the campaign against sex robots is a genuine company or a movement. And believed, there's some of this, under their chapter on ethics of robotics, they said, we believe in the benefits of robots and technologies to our society and human cultures, but want to ensure that robotics develops ethically and that we do not reproduce inequalities with their development that could further reinforce disturbing human lived experiences. So they want robots to be equal, I believe, whilst also not being equal. We're not proposing to extend rights to robots. We do not see robots as conscious entities. We propose instead that robots are a product of a human consciousness and creativity, and human power relationships are reflected in the production. Human power relationships? In production, design, and proposed uses of these robots. As a result, we oppose any efforts to develop robots that will contribute to gender inequalities in society.
Fuck off.
That's what I mean. Like, you're just looking for someone to blame.
Yeah.
Are you saying that the robots that could potentially rule the world and destroy us all, they might actually be... What gender will they be?
Yeah.
You know, what is it going to produce gender inequality in some way? Or is it just going to change humanity?
It's...
Stuff like self-driving trucks and stuff. That's a big thing in America at the moment, is automated labour.
There's a lot of fear about automation.
With robots. And you go like, well, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's just change, and people need to see how they can change.
We've gone through this before with the industrial
revolution.
T1000. And like a lot of people lost their jobs then, but we now have different jobs.
Yeah, for the betterment of society.
Because we don't have to do that crap anymore.
Yeah, and it's not even a case of... there was a whole negative thing of learn to code, because that's the future or whatever. And that became a banned term on Twitter 8 months ago. But it's just like, yeah, change will happen. It's either that or nothing changes. What do you want? Well, there's road deaths every year. How about we solve all the road deaths? I can't remember whether I went into it last week, but I had a thought about... there's this whole thing about there's too many shootings in America and how are they going to solve it?
Yeah.
It's been widely known for a long time that if the news stops reporting on it in a compassionate way, then it would stop it. So it's before they get to the extreme of how are they going to take my guns away, just be like, oi, Fox, stop publishing manifestos.
Yeah.
It will save lives. It will mean that they won't need to be as much gun control. Why don't you just do that instead of, well, is it a semi-automatic or is it an assault rifle?
The same goes for all of them. Like, all the fucking companies are just as bad.
But to be fair, I did look into it. I tried to find the one of the most recent manifestos, and it was quite difficult to do. So I think they have tapered down a little bit, but they're still showing photos of the shooting happening. Yeah, and who's that to benefit for?
You're still making them infamous.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, there was the two pictures of one of the gunmen walking in with a rifle and ear defenders on. Yeah. And I think anybody who would want to do that would be like, that's amazing. I want to do that.
Yeah.
So you go like, just stop it. And less mass shootings will occur.
Yeah.
Like the people have been telling you for years and still you do it.
Yeah.
And you go like, well, instead of, before you get to, if the whole take your guns away thing is this whole big horrible thing, just start telling the news companies to stop getting people killed. Weirdly,
like, I think the first outfit that actually stopped publicising was the Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro's thing. Like, they made a big stand, I think it was around about, Actually, I can't remember which shooting it was. There've been so fucking many of them.
I think the BBC was always quite good on it during the IRA stuff that was going on, like the 70s.
Oh, I don't know.
I think there was a definite difference between, they weren't being glorified car bombings or anything like that. And it's just like, it just seemed like a weird thing that people just kind of forgot about. You gotta, no, if you just stop glorifying them.
Yeah.
Stop promoting them like they were a film.
Yeah.
Or a theme park. And then maybe it'll happen less. And it's like, no, actually, they're going to take our guns away. It's like, well, only if the news, you can't control the news. Well, yeah, they shouldn't be able to be restricted in what they say, but they have to take responsibility for what they say, right? And if that responsibility means more children will die, hey, if you're happy with that, you're allowed to be judged for that.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird thing.
But
yeah, don't make your robots create gender inequality.
Right. How many how many women over the years who've bought vibrators have bought one that is both that bought a realistic one that is of average male genitalia size?
I'd have to ask.
Go and consult. But the chances are they haven't. The chances are they've bought one that is the ideal size for them, or that is quite substantially larger than the average size. Is that not doing the same thing? Like, by their definition, it is.
But it's just another app.
Well, that's the thing.
What I mean?
I don't care.
There'll be robot things.
Yeah.
That you'll get for your house. That will, like, what they got? They've already got robots that fucking clean your house floor.
Yeah.
Drive around and like pick up stuff, and there's things that help your plants grow by moving it into sunlight more. All these little robotic inventions that will happen, and having sex with it is probably just another feature they'll add.
Yeah.
Like, you're probably going to pay a huge amount of money for a domesticated robot that does all your chores for you.
Yeah.
And then what, you could pay an extra 10% for a fuckhole. It's just, there's a difference between sex and the mechanic.
Anytime you order anything, it's just a little checkbox. It's like,
fuckhole? A little paperclip pops up. Did you forget to request a fuckhole for this thing? I've done a count. There's only four fuckholes in your house. What if you get bored?
I've got one in each room. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Can never have too many fuckholes.
So yeah, I guess what's the difference between a robot and a sex robot? Apart from the obvious that you can fuck it, it's probably not. It's not as big a deal as people think. No. People just get used to it. It's it's the same argument you could argue for porn being allowed on phones.
Yeah.
You used to have to go and buy it in a shop.
Or find it in the woods.
Now you can just get it on your phone. I mean, is that not the same thing? It's just more ease of access. You go, oh, maybe that's warped everything. Well, maybe it's warped everything. Maybe it's changed things. Yeah. But it's happened. So you just have to kind of accept the good with the bad. Wi-Fi is great for phones. It's changed the world. Yes, there's porn, and probably most of it is porn, but the small parts that aren't porn are very good. Yeah. And that came from space. So maybe it was Anne McClane's plot all along.
Porn from space.
Yeah. That was a whole thing, as the iPhone wouldn't exist without the Apollo missions. Something like that.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think Neil deGrasse Tyson talked about it. He was saying how do you get these technological innovations? It's because of extreme scientific exploration, where it's like, how are we going to get into space? How are we going to get this into space? Well, we have to make it smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, make it work, and then that translates to phones.
Like, humanity reaps the benefits of the byproducts of the things that they've done for these big missions.
Yeah, so stuff like Wi-Fi probably came from, we need something to communicate to space stations like radio waves.
GPS wouldn't exist without military.
Yeah. All that jazz.
Yeah.
Anyway, in other science news, robots and racism. A study conducted by the Human Interface Technology Laboratory in New Zealand, HIT Lab New Zealand, like a radio station, and published by the country's University of Canterbury, suggests people perceive physically human-like robots to have a race, and therefore apply racial stereotypes to white and black robots. So, if there's a robot with black skin, there's more racism going to be targeted at it with people who are racist against black people. This is something that we need to figure out. This is what this basically is saying. The colours have been found to trigger social cues that determine how humans react to and behave toward other people, and also robots. The bias against black robots is a result of bias against African Americans, lead researcher Christoph Botnick explained.
Again.
It is amazing to see how many people who had no prior interaction with robots show racial bias towards them. They did an experiment. Oh, I just remember what the experiment was. I need to read that out word for word. The robots used in the study are clearly robots, but have human-like limbs and a head, with exterior complexions that are white, which is to say pinkish or black, or really a deep brown. In the shooter bias test, black and white people appeared and robots appeared on a screen for less than a second, and participants were told to shoot them if they were holding a weapon. What a great way to test racism.
What?
Here's a gun. An image is going to pop up. If that image has a gun, shoot it. And it'll be up for a second. And they're
That's
basically
ridiculous.
saying... Guns
Guns
like a
are
weird
black.
way to do science.
Guns are black. If there's a load of white robots that aren't holding a gun and then suddenly a black robot shows up, you're looking for black. Like, this is ridiculous.
But the test showed that more black people without guns were shot than white robots without guns. Like,
Right.
And it's just like, oh, that is, yeah, they're like, oh, that's... I love that as a scientific
You're
test.
matching colour and shape. You're not...
It's just testing theories with assault rifles. Climate change, where do we land? All right, well, if you see a sun, shoot it. What? Science! Run a simple Google image search on the term robot, and you won't see a lot of colour, as pointed out in the study. Most robots are white, is what they're complaining about.
Right.
You go, okay, I'd argue why make robots skin anyway? I can understand that it could be good for some people might feel more comfortable around them, but we'll integrate. Phones don't look like people. We talk to them every day. Just have it without skin. You'll be fine. Oh, but what about the colour of the gears? Okay.
It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Like, every...
And again, you're trying to cater to racists.
Yeah.
Like, they're racists. Tell them the fuck off.
Every bit of, like, recording kit that I've got is black. I don't
Racist.
perceive it as black. Like, it's just, that's the colour it is. Like, you get design trends and all kinds of stuff where, like, for like 10 years an iPod will be white, and now they're all black. Like, it's just... It's trends. It doesn't mean anything.
But it's also just stupidity. I mean, human-shaped robots, this is what the article says, should represent the diversity of humans. Why? They're robots. Imagine a world in which all Barbie dolls are white. All Barbies are white. I mean, there's Barbie subcategories where they're not Barbie, they're just owned by Barbie.
Yeah.
And there's like Barbie's friend Deborah.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah,
But
because
when you
Barbie,
say
the
Barbie,
character, is white.
Yeah, when you say Barbie, you think of the Barbie doll that's white.
Yeah.
You don't think, oh, what? You mean Deborah? No, I mean Barbie.
Yeah.
So Barbies are white. And yeah, there's a whole thing about there's this whole thing about, you know, what race should Barbie dolls be, and there should be equal representation or statistical representation of all this kind of stuff. But you just go, I think you're tackling like the lowest problem on this pyramid. I think, like, in terms of robots, how about we build the robots first and then figure out if everyone's a racist? Why are we trying to... What's your argument before we start developing coloured robots of any colour, that we need to first of all answer the philosophical question about what do we do with the racists? It's a separate issue. You're looking for something to be angry about, and you're just choosing robots. Stop having sex with... That robot's got too many fuckholes. This robot's Filipino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
You're the one with the issue here.
Yeah.
You're creating the issue within yourself. Just seems daft. I've got a few more. We can quickly go through some of these. Oh, yes. I mentioned this ages ago, but there's been an update. There was a thing about... what do they call it when a professor publishes a paper? There's a whole system of academia regards to that it then becomes recognized in the academic world as a genuine study.
Like peer reviewed or something.
Yeah, I think it's peer review, and it's there was these group of people who believed that the whole thing was incredibly ridiculous and biased.
Oh right, yeah.
So they sent a bunch of bollocks to them that were like had the right buzzwords in them. Yeah. And argued with certain political beliefs, and they all got passed. Or loads of them got passed.
Yeah.
There's been an update. He's now been like fired for questionable
course.
behavior and questioning
Yeah,
ethics.
of
And I
course
just
he
want
has.
to be clear. They were proving the point of this whole system is ridiculous.
Yeah.
To the point where they sent them Mein Kampf
Yeah.
just with some words changed, but Mein Kampf was sent to them, and they said this is, and they replaced Jews with white males. Right, essentially from memory,
Right. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
basically
yeah.
what they did. Any mention of Jew, they replaced with white males, and they sent it to them, and they went, "Yep, this is now officially peer reviewed.
Yeah.
This is excellent." Their most famous one was dog park rape culture,
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
where was it people wanted they were claiming that people kept on wanting to have sex with their dogs, or the dogs wanted how they treated each other.
It
in
was
a
to
dog
do with how
park.
the dogs treated each other and
Right.
how the male dogs were dominant over the female dogs,
and they were saying
they
how that's related to human
forced
culture.
themselves onto
Yeah, and it's just, and that they were putting it through knowing that this is nonsense, and it's just like these idiots are going to accept this because
Yeah.
they don't think or look into this. Their point was these people just want to get more documents that agree with their political beliefs.
Yeah.
So they just wrote loads of social justice warrior.
It's
things.
all the humanities. It's
Yeah,
just
that
gone
was
to,
just meant to do
gone
that.
to shit.
Peter Boghossian made headlines in 2018 after he and two other researchers set out to prove a point with the integrity of peer-reviewed academic publications. After 7 of the team's fake submissions were accepted and published, Campus Reform Investigation led the publisher of the infamous Portland Dog Park Rape Culture article to question the origins of the submission. This ultimately revealed the article as part of a larger effort by Boghossian and his team to demonstrate the inadequacies of these publications. I believe he's been fired. He's been told that he's not allowed to. He said, "I was doing a study on human beings.
Yeah.
I was testing like a test subject," and they said, "Well, you can't do that without informed consent." And so, well, then that did the whole argument about whether or not you can test people who know that they're being tested. And yeah, they were saying that, informed consent from the individuals reviewing his hoax articles in order for his actions to have been considered ethical.
Okay, fair enough. I wasn't doing a test. You're all just fucking morons.
Yeah, I believe in this dog park rape culture, and you agree with it too.
Yeah.
So what's the problem?
Yeah.
He's barred from conducting any human subject-related research, as well as any university-sponsored research. So he's not allowed to be a researcher anymore, because they found out that he'd been making fun of them, basically.
Yeah, he's not allowed to be a researcher anymore because his research proved a point.
But I just, and it's just, well, the bigger question here is not that somebody sent you stupid material, it's that you read Mein Kampf and you said it was a great idea. That's the real issue.
Why isn't that guy fired?
That's the actual problem. You just don't like that somebody sent you a book that you love.
Yeah.
You love Mein Kampf so much you want to accept it as peer reviewed.
Yeah. And all your friends did too.
And now that's part of your library.
Yeah.
And stamped with your rubber stamp of approval.
Yeah.
And you love dog rape. So what's the deal? Isn't that the real issue? People just looking to be angry at stuff.
Ugh.
Okay, and lastly, there's a lot of similar stuff here. No robots and no Mein Kampf.
No fuckholes?
I don't think so. A paper currently being promoted by a New York university calls on society to consider the rampant sexual exploitation of dairy cows, moo, those kind of cows,
Okay.
by the milk industry in order to fully fight gendered oppression. So, cow gender rights are now being fought for. And you go, again, it might be a worthwhile endeavour. You're trying to better understand societal structures and how we treat the world. But you're kind of targeting the lowest form of the pyramid here.
Yeah.
There's so many more things going on.
Yeah.
And you're arguing for cow gender. Okay,
All
fair
right.
enough. If you want to do that, go for it.
That's fine.
But
You don't want milk. I understand.
specifically, the author compares cattle insemination
Probably
to rape.
a fucking vegan anyway.
Of course, to rape, and milking of cows to sexual abuse. I don't know much about cows, but I know that if you don't milk them, they get very uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well,
Like, as in, you have to milk them, otherwise they get bad. I mean, and maybe there's
Well,
a
they
thing where maybe that's man-made, as in they're
But
constantly pregnant.
there are automated milking machines now, if you can afford them, where the cow voluntarily enters it when it's feeling uncomfortable, and the machine milks it and it leaves again.
Yeah, that's still sexual exploitation.
No, it isn't.
Well, this is what it says. Published piece aims at discussing the sexual exploitation of non-human bodies, specifically dairy cows. The author notes that as a vegan and animal rights
Of course,
activist,
fucking vegan.
she feels compelled to reveal the feminist aspects of animal agriculture. A topic she says is unfortunately under-researched, but it is nonetheless important because the same way women's health has been at stake for years, a dairy cow's reproductive system has been poked and prodded. Just where's the? It's just why this? Why is this? Why is this? Is there an epidemic? Is there a big? Because there's a genuine big problem. It makes a bit more sense. But why have you chosen dairy cows as opposed to dairy goats?
Yeah.
I mean, is that not the same? Maybe you don't care about goats. Maybe you do care about goats, but cows are more popular and get more clicks. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. But like the trouble now is that cows are at a point where they are completely bred by people. Like they are so far removed from their ancestry that these things have to happen.
Yeah.
Like, so what do you want? Like, should we just kill them all?
It's just another GCSE paper where you go like, if you're a student in secondary school, yeah, this would make an interesting paper for one of your classes, whatever class it is, biology or whatever. But it'd be like, put that on LinkedIn, see what happens. I don't know. According to the publication, the dairy industry is a host for sex-based discrimination. I mean, they're cows.
You can't talk about them on human terms.
I mean, people do milk male cows, but for different reasons.
Yeah.
I don't understand what it is you want. Cite where sexual assault and objectification based on biological makeup are highly prevalent but ignored as we choose to neglect non-humans with whom we share a planet. Well, that's just douche level 11. Just turn the douchebag up to 11 there. We do share a planet with them. Yeah, we share a planet with everyone except for Anne McClain, who's made our own our own criminal spaceport up in space. The paper argues in order to fully fight gender depression, society must address the plight of dairy cows. Okay.
Bollocks.
Have fun.
Bollocks.
Have fun.
I'm sorry, but the way that people treat animals has never altered the way that they treat women.
Yeah. Yeah, farmer doesn't accidentally milk his wife.
No.
Yeah, or like, I've been doing this with cows, so now I have to do this. Maybe they do. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I would be surprised.
It's just...
Yeah, and then she goes on to more stuff about the piece begins by first attacking the widely contested notion that cow's milk is even at all beneficial for humans. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
People drink it and they don't die.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can be allergic to it. I've noticed that I've become less tolerant of milk. I'll feel weird and different after milk now.
Yeah.
But I don't die. It's food. Yeah, I do get nutrition from it. Pointing to the government-funded Got Milk campaign. So just so much.
How old is that?
It was in early seasons of The Simpsons, and that's what,
Yeah.
90s, 80s.
Yeah.
References to the 80s, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, just Jesus Christ. Fair enough. If your fight is I'm all for their argument is there shouldn't be gender-based oppression, and you go, okay, but you go, well, if the way to solve that is to first of all solve the dairy milk crisis, you go like, is gender oppression not urgent enough for you that you should start targeting it in the human world?
Yeah.
Solve it in the human world if you believe there's a problem, and then move on to bovines.
Yeah.
The
thing is, if you take a stance of it as being animal cruelty, I'm more likely to take you seriously.
Yeah.
Because I can at least understand the context from which you're saying that.
Yeah,
but
if there was facts about cows don't want to be milked, if that was the case, then yeah, you'd have a point.
But like to argue it from the standpoint of a human invention.
Yeah.
Like gender. Like we invented that concept, like that discussion, that's ours. It didn't exist before us, and it like no other species has anything like this kind of level of communication.
Yeah,
like
just a weird. It's just what It's just in your mind, this is the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
fair
can't impose these philosophies on a species that does not understand you.
Yeah. I think there was a little bit in here actually about this. They are still subjects to sex-based discrimination and violence, despite their voices not being always lifted or comprehensible. So we're talking for the cows that can't talk back.
Moo. Oh.
Oppression, you say? Fair enough.
Moo. Moo.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where it just feels misguided and looking for something to blame. Whatever it is, doesn't matter what it is. The real problem is dairy. Okay, that's your big problem. Okay, tackle that. See how it goes. I'm all for change and exploration.
Yeah, see, that's another thing. Maybe they're just like hardcore vegan wankers trying to like pull a different sect of people onto their train. Be like, you can help me with the cow problem.
Well, it's just everyone trying to have a unique idea.
Yeah,
And being like, it was my revolutionary idea that first of all we should help the cows before we help the people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
Because they're the same. Okay, fair enough.
You're not special either.
Just I don't know whether I'm just getting older. It's just like, this is just pointless.
Mm.
You're doing your thing. Good luck to you.
Yes.
Have fun. But I don't agree with you. But hey, go for it. Enjoy.
Yeah. Very sorry that no one's paying attention to your fuckhole.
Anyway, that's me for this week.
All right. I should have been more prepared.
Steve's collection of useless meanderings. Scum.
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 NASA once raided a Denny's as part of a sting operation to bust a 75-year-old woman for possessing and attempting to sell a moon rock the size of a grain of rice.
Well, it's fair enough. You got to track their moon rocks.
And NASA are like an enforcement agency?
I think they're the Navy.
Right, okay. So they can do like sting operations.
Yeah, I guess so.
Come out, this is
they're
NASA.
The Navy. They're either the Navy or
What?
the Air Force. Yeah. She's got the moon! It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
I
They
guess it's-
grabbed rocks from the moon and people are smuggling them out and giving them to Earthlings. Do you want a bit of the moon?
It's just so small. But like there is quite a lot of moon rock, isn't there?
Well, it depends. I imagine they're probably testing stuff on it, and it's still government property.
Yeah.
Or the church's property.
We own that
depending
grain of
if
rice.
It's within that bishopric or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a small amount of rock.
Yeah, that's the point. It belongs to the Catholics.
There you
Maybe
go.
she's Catholic.
Maybe they blessed it. They baptized it. Baptism by moon.
Dogs have musical tastes. Heavy
metal dog.
The SPCA, which is the RSPCA, but it's for Scotland.
Oh, okay.
And the University of Glasgow monitored dogs' heart rates while playing different kinds of music and found that most dogs prefer reggae and soft rock.
Prefer?
Well,
it's
although
reacting to beats, isn't
Each
it?
individual dog also has its own preferences. So,
Okay.
but on the whole, it's a reggae soft rock kind of thing.
Soft rock. What would soft rock be? Evanescence?
Is that soft?
I've no idea. Probably.
Maybe.
Well, that was more gothic, in quotes.
I think you're more likely like cream,
Iron Maiden threw bottles at them. Not fans of Iron Maiden, sorry. Iron Maiden
Yeah.
didn't do that. But she opened for Iron Maiden once.
Oh.
And the whole crowd just threw bottles at her.
Oh, that's a shame. She's a very good singer.
Too soft rock.
Yeah. I would think of more like maybe Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
Like, I think soft rock almost feels like an insulting term now.
Yeah. Like they sing about stuff that isn't and they're not doing it as intensely as the thing they're singing about, or like the White Room, or like cocaine. And this is like a song about cocaine. It's like pretty slow. It's a bit slow for cocaine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Acoustic rock.
In the Philippines, for a price of roughly £350, you can purchase a death kit.
Oh.
Which are made up of documents that prove your death. The process...
I'm dead. Prove it. There you go.
There you go. Process involves obtaining a fake death certificate and buying an unclaimed corpse from one of the many morgues across the Philippines.
Oh. That's nice.
Another place where you can buy a corpse. We covered this.
Yeah,
few weeks ago.
detonating people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy a corpse.
Yeah, 350 quid.
From the Philippines, it's 350 quid. Your people wanted like $2,000.
Yeah, it was like $3,000 or
It's a
something.
much better deal.
Yeah.
I don't know how much shipping it'd be.
500 quid for
from
a
the
head.
Philippines.
Something like that.
500 quid for a head.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I think the head was cheaper than the arms, which I found questionable.
Mm.
But yeah. Yeah, everyone go to the Philippines.
Yeah.
Buy some corpses.
Yeah. Prove your death to your family.
Selling your corpse.
Well,
Can't imagine it's willing.
no. I mean, they're unclaimed corpses in the morgues.
Right.
Is those the ones that they sell? So there'll be people that have just like this. I read something the other week that said that, like, about the number
Who's
of
going to claim their own corpse?
it's people who've died and have no
Yeah.
friends or family or anything, and like the amount of them that are in that are in the States is like unreal, and it's either no friends or family, or the family just doesn't want to pay for the funeral, so they
They don't want to claim that. Do you claim this dead body? No. But it's your dead. Your
Well, like
father's dead body.
if you're broke and someone you know dies,
Yeah.
like someone that's related to you, you're responsible for the costs.
Yeah, but like to claim it implies that that corpse is then your property or your responsibility. And you kind of go, I guess it would be your responsibility, right? If somebody
Yeah.
died in your house and you left it there, like we've read on many news articles, then yeah, you should have been more responsible and you should have dealt with the situation. But to claim it, as in like I put a flag in it, it's mine. So all right, it's a weird thing to do with the dead, but okay,
Yeah.
claim your grief. Oh yeah, I want to claim this body. Seems weird.
Yeah.
Does that mean that if someone you know dies under horrific circumstances and you don't want that to tarnish their reputation, you can just not claim them, and therefore they died but they've disappeared as well? That's the thing. What is that person missing?
Well, if somebody
paper?
knows who they are, then they would be identified.
But they have to be claimed. You can't. They can just go. We found your uncle. He died in a having sex in the woods. Oh no, we don't want that. So no, we don't want it.
Well, I think you're.
Okay.
I think you're allowed to kind of hide the cause of death, not from the authorities, but like from the public. You don't have to publicize it.
Yeah, but if they don't claim it, then you know.
Yeah.
You don't even have to do that, and it's cheaper.
Mm.
Claim the body of the deceased. Seems weird, but
Yeah.
hey, for tourism, must be doing wonders.
Well,
People going to the Philippines, a cheap death.
yeah. I suppose. Well, what is?
If you faked your own death, what would you do?
What do you mean?
If I was to fake my own death, I'd always do what I think he does in. Was it? Oh my God, Raw Deal. Arnold Schwarzenegger film. He drives a motorbike into a petrol station and blows the whole thing up.
Yeah, you need to make
I'd
sure
do
there's going to be absolutely no trace.
Yeah,
Or it's reasonable that there be no trace.
yeah, I'd do that, and then I'd probably move to Austria.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a bit different, bit weird. Seems the same. Would you stay in England if you faked your own death?
No.
Nah,
No. Why?
go abroad.
The world's your oyster. The world is your fuckhole at that point.
Stay in Austria until the fuckholes come in.
In ancient Rome, famous gladiators endorsed products, just like modern athletes do. Some of the endorsements have survived in ancient paintings.
Sprite. Whenever I kill a tiger that's been starved for 7 days, I always like to know that my perspiration is under control. I use Right Guard.
Yeah, just like sponsorship, like fucking gladiators that look like NASCAR racers, just with like Gillette all across their chest. And
Look, you need the sponsors need more blood, so you're gonna have to go down in the fourth if you want to keep your sponsorship deals. What against elephants? You want me to lose to elephants? Yeah, and then we'll keep on sponsoring. It'll be fine. I'll be dead, right? Yeah, but family. Someone will claim your corpse.
Yeah. Yeah, it says that the makers of the film Gladiator downplayed it on the assumption that we'd find it somewhat unbelievable. But it's like, I'd have been interested
Didn't
to
know
know.
Coca-Cola was around.
Yeah. Father of a murdered son. Sponsored by Coca-Cola.
Yeah, father of a murdered son. Dry patches, armpit sweat of a behemoth, but the right car. What would they sponsor? They would sponsor swords, I'd imagine.
Yeah, like it'd be like
Armor.
weaponry and stuff like that, I guess. Not like
Maybe food.
maybe Ted, the local blacksmith. Like he sponsors like their local Fiverside and Gregor the Magnificent.
Big thumbs up. Yeah, I can understand them being like, this gladiator ate here once, something like that.
Yeah.
Get like there's a famous there's loads of things in LA and New York that have got like pictures of actors and that have been in their establishment. I'd imagine you could also have like the head of Cassius placed on the side. Oh yeah. But heads outside this what was that? Heads outside the Houses of Parliament. That was a whole big thing at school. Like in the 1800s, Oliver
Cromwell?
maybe. Something to do with that. Around that area.
Oh, that was
Someone led a revolt and it
yeah,
failed or
that
passed,
was-
and so they beheaded everyone and put their heads on spikes.
That was it was Oliver Cromwell and King Charles,
Something
I
like
believe. I think Oliver Cromwell ousted King Charles because he essentially bankrupted the crown.
Right.
Like he was just far too lavish and spent far too much money. He was a romantic. And
on the
Oliver
podcast.
Cromwell came in and cancelled Christmas, like literally.
Oh. Beheaded everyone, put their heads on spikes. I think his head was on a spike as well.
Yeah. Well, eventually, when he got ousted, they executed all the people that ousted the previous king. I think.
They like symmetry. I think there's heads on spikes on two sides of a road or something.
Yeah.
And we got heads on spikes on here, but all we need is more heads on spikes over here. Let's oust that Ollie guy.
Yeah.
He'll find it ironic.
And finally, a modern art critic was asked to review some of Adolf Hitler's paintings without being told who painted them. He judged them to be quite good, while also stating that the artist's depiction of human figures in the paintings revealed a profound disinterest in people. Well, yeah.
You might not like people very much. That's weird, isn't it, that you can tell? And I fully believe that you can.
Oh, yeah, with the way that you express yourself. and
Yeah,
everything,
just
yeah.
how much effort you put into certain aspects reveals a part of your personality.
Yeah, I think if you can't read someone's art, but if you can't read a person by the art that they produce, then they're not producing something genuine.
Well, it's different things. I mean, you posted recently, actually, that I bothered to read.
Oh, right.
About stuff like videographers. Not all videographers are suitable to all jobs.
Yeah.
There needs to be a certain amount of chemistry between the videographer and the person who wants a
Right.
videographer to get the right feel for the video they want to make.
Yeah, yeah.
And you probably get that with a lot of stuff, and there are artists. I mean, we were talking about that Country Road song. That song obviously clicks with some people.
Yeah.
It vehemently, whatever how you pronounce that word.
Yeah.
Vehemently. Disagrees with me, but there's loads of songs that really agree with me and I relax to that are very violent. And people get very uncomfortable around. And you go, no, it just genuinely calms me down. It's just this is how my brain works. So yeah, you can connect with different things, different gladiatorial sponsors, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I kind of get the impression that I've completely forgotten what we were talking about. How did this start?
Being able to read someone by their art.
Oh, yeah, Hitler.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think someone can look into an art piece and not get it. And doesn't mean the art piece is like not good. Just be like, this doesn't work, it doesn't groove with that person. So, but yeah, it's interesting that it's just always interesting what you can glean from somebody.
Yeah. It's like I don't understand art, like drawn art, to the level where I can look at something in it and understand it at a level where I'm so moved that I would like start crying or like have that emotional response that I would have to maybe a song or a film or something like that.
Oh, Daredevil. Did you watch the Daredevil series?
No.
It's well worth a watch.
Yeah.
That's my favorite Marvel Universe series. Very good.
Yeah.
And oh my god, what's his name? The Penguin, not the Penguin. The Marvel Penguin guy.
Yeah.
Wilson Fisk. There you
Okay.
go. He's amazing.
Yeah.
It's been cancelled now, but in all 3 seasons, Wilson Fisk is amazing.
Right.
And he's got a whole thing where he gets transfixed by a painting and explores all that kind of stuff. And it's very good.
Okay.
I haven't experienced it myself either,
Yeah.
but I can imagine seeing something that just clicks with something within your psyche. Whether it's for example, I grew up in America. I say grew up, I think to the age of like 5.
Yeah.
Then I came over here. When I see images of stuff where I grew up, or areas near, like Kindergarten Cop happens in Oregon,
Yeah.
which is similar to where I grew up. Just like the car that was being driven, the area it was driving through, has some kind of imagery connection with me that I associate, that elicits a feeling of nostalgia.
Yeah.
Even though I was like 5 years old.
Yeah.
So I think if you see a certain image, I think it can bring back. I mean, stuff like the home you grew up in. If you saw
Yeah.
a picture of that, or you walk in there.
Again, I think a
It's
photograph
encapsulating
is a photograph is
Yeah.
a different thing. But a completely sort of fictional piece, like a
Abstract
painting,
piece or something.
an abstract, but it can be perfectly realistic looking or whatever. But just a painting of something I
Just
don't.
Hitler's beautiful, unspoiled
recognise.
beach.
Yeah,
That he painted. He's painted a beach with no guns and no dead bodies, and it's like, hooray! The Nazis are having a great time in the distance.
yeah. But I think part of it is that I mostly have an emotional response to the story within or
Yeah.
behind something, and I don't necessarily glean stories from paintings.
Again, I reckon you could. I reckon I could at least. Anyway, it's just I haven't really spent any time exploring it. But the same way that you can make a song about something, and people will either get it or not get it, or give it a different definition or something. I think that if you saw the same image painted by different people, will have different details that you'll enjoy.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting.
fair enough.
I haven't done that much of it. Yeah, all
Yeah.
good. So, minute month. Quick update from I was more procrastinative with this one consciously because it was quite. I had ideas in my head. I renamed it as Name That Actor because that's basically what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
Is having a minute-long video that's going to hint at it being a specific actor. You have to try and guess what it is from the hints. Kind of thing, a game show. And I had immediate ideas of much bigger stuff that needed even more CGI and prop tables and scenery. And eventually I was kind of tried to numb it down to be like, let's just see if I can film it now.
Yeah.
And kind of make it work. I do an impression, a very good impression, I think, of the actor that might give it away. It might also be a very bad impression. I don't know. I think it's quite good. You'll get it when you hear it, but I'll give it a watch. Can you see this screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, this is my second minute month. It's even got a timer on it.
Oh.
No, yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, just before I get there, just post a clock. Just a clock. Just post it there. I'll come in. I'll be all, fuck it. There's a clock. Yeah, found all these diaries of like soldiers and that. So, I don't know, TV series.
I am in your clothes at the lowest point when we meet hell. On the day of my judgment, I stand before God, and he asks me, why did I kill one of his true miracles? What am I gonna say? That it was my job?
Name that actor. I might have made it too easy.
Owen Wilson?
No.
No.
It says not Owen Wilson.
Did it?
I can't remember. No, I put it in, then I removed it. So that anyone
right.
who thinks it's Owen Wilson.
No, it
said,
doesn't.
Look, here's an image of Owen.
Yeah.
Well, it's obviously the picture of that guy. No, Owen Wilson is a clue to the actor. You don't get it.
I don't know.
There's enough in there. I thought this was going to be enough. This last image of me eating a bowl of peas and carrots, and then getting hit with a load of water.
Tom Hanks.
There you go. It was Tom Hanks with my excellent Tom Hanks impression.
I didn't recognise the quote.
It's from The Green Mile.
Oh, okay.
It's a great film.
I've seen that film once. I watched it with you.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
great film. Great
Yeah.
film. Yeah, I thought there was enough in there, I think, that kind of worked. It was very hastily done, very first draft.
I'd
You don't get any of the references.
need to watch it again.
You have to watch it again.
I don't need to do it now.
No, we'll go through
All
reference by reference, I
Okay.
think, to kind of make it work. Because I can stop and start it.
Knowing that.
No, yeah, I'm thinking... Yeah, just before I get there, just post a clock. This is a film. Just a clock. Yeah, just post it there. I'll come in. I'll be all... Fuck it. You know what film? There's a clock. Yeah, found all these diaries.
No.
It's a TV series. Of, like, soldiers and that. So... He produced
TV
it. Series.
Oh, is it?
This is Toy Story.
Band of Brothers.
Yeah.
I didn't see Band of Brothers.
When we meet hell.
That one's a demon in the lowest point of your clothes, or a snake in your boot.
Oh.
Toy Story, obviously.
Before God,
This is Wilson.
and he asks me, why
Castaway,
did
obviously.
I kill one of his true miracles?
Okay.
Peas and carrots. It's Forrest Gump.
It was my job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Splash.
Okay.
It's all there.
It's all there.
Yeah, first one was Castaway.
Yeah.
That was where he posts himself a clock, and I think it's probably a bit of a douchebag move for him to do. Yeah, second one was he was a producer on Band of Brothers.
Right.
Third one was Toy Story, partly because there's a toy.
Yeah.
The other one is a demon in the lowest point of your clothing, or a snake in your boot. There's a snake in my boot.
Yeah. What's the... Oh, okay. So
'Cause
it's
the
a
demon
reference
is
to
a
the...
snake.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe Angels and Demons. Kind of a demonish
Okay.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was Owen Wilson from Castaway.
Right.
Volleyball.
Yeah. Yeah.
all
No,
there.
I was just... no.
Peas
I
and
was-
carrots.
I was lost.
Splash.
I was completely lost.
Oh, experimental first try.
Yeah.
Could work out into something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, bit of name that actor. Feels
Yeah.
quite cool.
Yeah.
Could maybe turn
Okay.
into something.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Makes sense. Yeah, all the references were there.
It's still
it was
pe-
obscure enough for you not to get it, which was the intention.
Which was the intention.
Not to make it too not, but as soon as I said peas and carrots, I think something started to
yeah.
sing in your head.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it was like
Yeah.
they are right there, but it took a
Yeah,
I took a
didn't-
little pin to go like, there you go.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
balance.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I filmed that splash scene because I was like, I definitely want that. And then that's all I did. I did
I
that.
wanna clean up.
Yeah. And then it was like, oh, I need to do loads of other stuff. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just talk on my phone and make film references just to get something. Because that's the only point of this is to get over procrastination.
Yeah.
For me, it's just like, yeah, I was tempted as well to again for the second time running be like, maybe we should reschedule.
Yeah.
And it'll give me another week to not do it, and then I'll
Yeah.
maybe do it later. And it was like, no, again, at least did it kind of. It's a C grade, like it got like a 2-2 or something like that, and be like, he did something, it was fine, it's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, seems got to think of the next one now. I can't remember whether we've addressed you,
We haven't.
but we should explain. Just
yeah.
this is a
well,
thing.
we can. Yeah, I don't have one this week. We
month.
had like it's a little bit dog ate my homework, but to be honest, I don't feel bad about it because at no point do I feel like I've actually procrastinated about it. It's just literally everything has ramped up in this last week.
Yeah, it's been really
And
busy.
It's it was a matter of prioritizing like kind of personal life and
Yeah.
things like that with what.
But there was
little
an
time I
element
had.
of, I sensed an element of guilt.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
in, I tried, because you
I-
messaged me this morning, you're like, just so you know, I haven't been able to get around to doing something.
Yeah.
And every message I tried to type back was like, this is going to sound wrong.
Right.
That's it. I was like, so, what do you want me to do with mine? It's like, no, it's like, it's more, so what do you want to do with mine? Do you want to do it? What do you want to do? And we said like, well, yeah, this is for fun.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
So it's all, if real life gets in the way,
Yeah.
then take care of real life.
Yeah, plus this is the second time where it's like it's been a month, except it's 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and
That's the main thing we need to tackle.
yeah, just because of the way it's lined up.
And the only reason that it's got that way is because we were like, oh, let's try and figure out a cool way to get audience participation into what we should talk about.
Yeah.
And we kind of left it for a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
And we're like,
and
we haven't
then-
had anything, so let's decide on something ourselves.
Yeah, and
So-
then as a joint decision last week, we changed like the editing schedule of the way we're doing the podcast and everything like that, which
Yeah.
Was just it just meant I was
You were just overworked.
you're just doing 2 like back-to-back edits and things.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like, and it's not like I'm saying like you've had less to do. It's not. That's not a thing. It's just the way it pans out.
Yeah. I would argue I had more to do.
But potentially,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah,
But, like-
but it's real life. I don't have a wife. You know, I don't have a life. so it's and if I was in the same situation, I would have done the same
Yeah.
thing. So it's
Yeah.
not a responsibility for us. It's just an idea. It's a practice. And the funny thing is, we don't do this because we our problem with procrastination is we don't want to do something unless it's perfect, and we need to get in the practice of failing but continuing to produce.
Yeah.
So in terms of, it's not a case of, now that we haven't done it this time, we're not going to do it again.
Yeah, no,
Because
no,
that's
no,
the
no.
structure of the podcast is we started doing it because there's 2 of us to be accountable for.
Yeah.
If we were doing it on our own, which we've done similar projects on our own, as soon as we haven't done it one deadline, we've kind of ended up dropping it.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, it's just a case of, real things happen. So, just keep on trying with it. But, we should try and figure out I enjoyed the idea of this,
Yeah.
of kind of name that actor and try and make a little puzzle piece to kind of do. Could be a fun thing to play around with segment-wise.
Yeah.
Of like, even if it's like just name that actor and it's a 10-minute, it's an image that we've made, a collage that we've made or something like that.
Yeah.
To kind of play around with the references that we have.
Yeah.
I think that could be kind of
To
fun.
be honest, the more I thought about this one, while I was like kind of actively trying to think about putting something together, there was nothing that was. I think I said this to you. Like there was nothing that was striking me that didn't come across as
Plagiarism.
yeah. And I think part of it is I didn't really kind of glom on to the idea that I could just do it this way.
You're right.
Like I was more trying to think in lines of like lining up quotes so they don't sound like actual quotes, and then forming that into its own story, which is completely separate.
yeah.
And like it was just a different way of.
No, that would have been
going
way
about
more
it.
impressive.
Well, it just
But yeah, I had the same thing. I wanted to build a space station. I wanted to get like animators involved. It just like became more and more of like, this is a bit too, lots of obstacles in my way of, that's a good idea. I originally I mentioned it before, there was an idea I wanted that needed a whole thing. I wanted to do Tim Allen.
right.
And there to be like decapitated neighbors on fences. and then that was like slowed down into a theme song.
Oh, God.
And then like, it was like this whole haunted serial killer going through a thing. And it's all just Tim Allen. I thought that would have been great. And it would have been like, yeah, it's a good idea, but it's just, it's an idea that hasn't manifested itself.
Yeah.
And you have no way of doing that. So just talk on your phone and eat carrots. Be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, peas and carrots I think was a good Forrest Gump reference. There were loads that I was trying to do, and there was loads I tried. It was like, this is just way too much.
Yeah.
Way too obviously Tom Hanks.
My trouble is that I can't do nuance unless I'm kind of writing it myself. Like if I see someone else's nuance, I'm like completely blind to it.
All right. Yeah. But yeah, a bit of Tom Hanks. A bit of fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, we should try and figure out what the next Minute Month's going to be.
Yeah. And make it a month. You know?
Yeah. And we'll figure out what the schedule will be and when we're going to release them, because we're kind of releasing them, for us it's the end of the month, but it's kind of the first week of the month for when it gets released.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can try and figure something out, and we'll try and figure something out more soon than later. I think would be good.
Yeah.
But another month of vaguely creative stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, all good. And lots of audience participation this week, so thank you very much for adding stuff in. It's always appreciated, even if we don't get around to it immediately. But
Yeah. If we don't read it one week, we'll probably read it the next week. Generally.
Or in this case, like 4 or 5
weeks later. It goes into...
It's just been busy, is all it is.
It goes
They've all
into a
been noted.
lockbox and we get round to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, all good. So yeah, if you do want to send us any material, any questions, anything like that, you can reach us on wisdom@pullingteethpodcast.com.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at Nick Snip on Twitter, and
I'm at Sing It Steve on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, and we're at Pulling Teeth Pod on Instagram. I have no idea how Instagram works, but I've heard that you could DM people on Instagram.
Yes.
So yeah, any of those medias would be fine. We've also got the Pulling Teeth Podcast Facebook page, which we post to regularly, and we monitor So any way that you want to get involved with us, that's great.
Yeah, and we've started putting the articles up there now as well. So if you want to look into any of the bullshit and be like,
yeah, we don't make any of this.
No.
All of the stuff that we talk about, from pushing dead babies on swings to Anne McClain trying to commit crime from
it always
space.
comes back to the dead baby on a swing with you.
That was the thing. That was the thing that got me. That was the thing that got me. That is what that is built for this podcast. Yeah. It's not made up. So I'm now making an effort to try and publish. Well, they're always in the YouTube description.
Yeah.
I think there's 2 episodes left that I haven't updated, but we try and put them there. And we're starting to broadcast them a bit more, just as Twitter and Facebook stuff.
Yeah. So like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah.
Leave a review.
Subscribe on YouTube if you want. We're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
But it would be nice if you want to be nice. And Stoke-on-Trent, we're trying to prep for October 13th. If you want to get involved in any way, more than welcome.
Or if you just want to come by and say hey.
Yeah, or just ideas of what you think we should do. We're always open to it. At the moment, I'm trying to sell screams in a jar, something like that.
Oh, right, okay.
Something like that would be quite cool. Just if you give us some money, I'll scream in this jar for you. Here you go, free jar. Well, not free jar, but you know. Or online insults, just insult people. I don't know how much people want to pay for that at a convention where they're looking to be included. Hey, come to us, we'll insult you.
Yeah.
Or we'll send you the worst compliment you've ever experienced. I don't know. Try and think of stuff just to make it more fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's us.
All right. See you next week.
See you next week.